Hello and good day, whatever day it is, assuming there are days, and that you are, and I am here to say hello. Let's consider what we know. The study of knowledge, or what I like to call epistemology, is the search for truth, if there is one, in anything, including me. Is this real, or just a prop? Or is it neither a prop nor real? In order to jump right to the chase, Thales, one of the 7 sages of Greece, made a relevant proclamation in the late 600s before the Common Era that everything in the cosmos came from water. Prove it, I'd say if I were there. Prove that everything's water. Not sure who really was the first to cut him down. Some say it was Anaximander who said, "Water cannot embrace all of the opposites found in nature. For example, water can only be wet, never dry." Or Anaximander who said something like, "Since you asked, I'm here to tell you that everything is air." As you can imagine, these guys might have thought they knew what they were talking about, but it's pretty clear they didn't know what they were talking about at all. Jumping ahead. And passing up Aristotle with a welcome breath of fresh air, moving beyond your typical theologians, Eastern philosophers, Western philosophers, and other members of the less influential thinking on British/American classic academic upbringings that might perpetuate trapped thinking and restrained emotional and mental freedom, we arrive at one Rene Descartes, 1641. Break it down, Rene. Rene, as I like to call him, set out on a scientific experiment which commenced inside his own brain. First, he made it clear to anyone listening that he believed in God no matter what, and that he meant no harm in questioning such a blasphemous thought, such as the idea that God would not exist, but he did want to know how he knew. Needless to say, Rene, yeah, I like to call him by his real name too, Rene decided to just take that one for granted and not actually ask how he knew that God existed. He just had to believe that he knew, but he wasn't afraid to ask if he himself existed, and if he did, how did he know? What if Descartes himself was just a character in the dream of an evil deceiver? Perhaps there was someone out there controlling his thoughts and making him do what puppet masters do. Today, it's brain in a vat thinking. Perhaps you're not really watching Rocketboom right now, but you're just a brain in a vat, being controlled by a mad scientist who's sending messages to your brain that make your brain think you're watching Rocketboom when in fact you're not really doing anything, you're just a brain in a vat. It seems in both cases there's something interesting to be gained from this experiment. Even if Descartes was being deceived, he was still Descartes because he had to be something if he was being deceived. Whatever he was, he was. And even if you are just a brain in a vat, you are a brain, and thus you are. But I can't say, per se, that you exist. You could just be a figment of my imagination, as could Descartes, Santa, UFOs, and everything else. But whatever, I must exist in order to be thinking about all of this, and thus the big aha. I think, therefore I am. Today this is expressed thusly. I am in, you are, whatever. And ever since Descartes, whatever we know, most philosophers are still willing to buy this one. You know, it's a bit like gravity, which has been a real keeper of an idea so far. After a very long, dry, very boring, somewhat illogical and poorly founded on suppositions meditation, he left it at his own existence and could never make the leap to knowing if his arms or legs really did exist, or the trees or anything else. So he resigned at just the thought of his own existence. He did his job, he was through, so help him God. Ever since then, no one's really been able to make the leap either. Some of the greatest thinkers have given it their best shot, you know, taking the plunge into the boundaries of the unknown. But I don't really know that, or know that you exist. I just know I exist and that's all that I know. I am what I am and that's all that I am, as Popeye so prophetically put it. And that's it. You just don't know. So what about everything else that seems to be out there? All you can do is believe. So, to recap. 1. I know I am. 2. Hang on a second. I'm not sure about everything else. Are you?